What's up, Sagittarius gang? Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. My name is Annie. We're going to read your tarot cards here today. Happy April. We are going to do April monthlies, so these tarot messages will include topics like love, relationships, maybe family issues, as well as career, money, finances. We're going to touch on kind of both those two categories or topics. So stick around for both, or, click your way through to find what you're interested in. Yeah, these are going to be general messages. Please come into the reading with an open heart, an open mind, a desire to learn something to better yourself. If the messages that come through don't resonate, feel free to push them aside or shelve them. You may choose to revisit this reading at a later date, because sometimes tarot messages will make more sense in the future. So again, just be open to that. Use your discernment, your intuition to separate what is meant for you and what is not, because you are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. Of course, this is just optional advice, guidance, energy check-ins. Let's do it. Should we start with love? I don't know why, I'm just kind of feeling that. Ooh, that came right out. I feel like the universe is like, yes. Ooh, the Empress. You got a big energy coming into you, Sagittarius. For some of you, you might be becoming mommies for the first time, or something with pregnancy, or topics about starting a family. The Empress is always shown pregnant. Venus is all about, this is the symbol for Venus. The Empress is Taurus energy. So kind of Mama Earth, taking care of nature, the planet, and also treating your body well in terms of love and relationships, honoring yourself, your person, your partner, and relating. What is compatible? How do you guys relate to one another? How do you nurture the other person? How do they nurture you? So possibly you may have someone coming in who has very strong Venus in their chart. Maybe they are a Taurus or a Libra sun sign. Maybe that's their rising sign, or their Venus is in one of those signs. And you have a decision to make, Sagittarius. Let's see. Someone may have a big decision to make about their career path, and it seems like money might be a good thing, but it may put sort of a crossroads in a relationship. I don't know. I don't necessarily think in terms of ending it, but like, I'm just sort of getting big decisions in a relationship. But I think it's good, though, with the Empress coming out first. If you're not clear now, I think you will be, with sort of this bright yellow energy coming through. I'm almost getting the idea of like it's written in the stars, like it was part of the path moving forward. So don't stress about it. Look at it as a necessary challenge. But I think what you're getting to will be well worth it in the end. Yeah, I think this person wants to continue to build, or wants to continue to build with you, and vice versa. And again, it could be the idea of I just heard teamwork makes the dream work. So cheesy. I'm sorry. It's possible you and your significant other may talk about starting a business together, or going in on some sort of mutual investment. Maybe you guys are looking to build a house or move in together, or again, adding one to the mix, right? Two and the one makes three, right? So maybe there's news about a baby, or adding one to the family. And so here's the thing. I do see there being mild frustrations, but that's not the point. Disagreements. People feeling one type of way and the other person being like, well, I disagree. Or, but it doesn't have to be this sort of this, knockdown, drag out fight. I think there's going to be differences of opinion, but I think there's a very strong negotiation factor here. Again, Venus is very much tied to Libra, and Libra wants things to be fair and equal and just and balanced, right? They are the scales of the zodiac. So I think maybe that's why this 2 is coming up too. As well, the 2 of Wands. It's weighing out options and our actions and our decisions, and making a game plan. Okay, like let's imagine we go with scenario A. What does that look like? How does that put us financially? What location would that be in? What is the area like? What is the neighborhood like? Who would we be working with? Weighing out your options and maybe not making a rash decision. Again, with that Taurus energy, Taurus is fixed earth, so it really takes a lot to nudge it and move it forward, right? And for some of you, that's going to be a frustration, the timeline of it all. But I actually see this process of, I don't know if it's negotiation or just a lot of planning, a lot going on behind the scenes before we actually manifest what we're trying to get here. I see that being very helpful to you. So try not to get too frustrated by the timeline of this, but so far, I think this looks really nice. Tell me a little bit more about this 3 of Pentacles. Yeah, be open and honest with your communications, and remember to to think about things and how they're going to land when you say them. I know sometimes Sagittarians can have the reputation for being kind of blunt and, sometimes getting yourselves in like an awkward situation by, just saying your gut impulse or speaking too soon. And I mean, I'm not here to change you or tell you what to do. I'm just saying, you seem to be dealing with someone who has a lot of love and compassion and wanting to work with you and weigh things out. So make sure, you're acting in that way too. Because that's the only thing I see here that could be tricky is difference of opinion that could actually, kind of spin into a larger argument if we don't kind of tame that or taper it off. Yeah, fuck yeah. Pardon my French, but there's reason to celebrate. There is good news, the arrival of very good news, celebratory news. There could be engagements or, again, a major milestone in some sort of relationship. I also kind of see this as sort of like the divine watching over you. There's something here. It feels like you're protected here. Yeah, King of Wands. So you might have another fire sign, an Aries, Leo, Sag, or that could be you as well. Yeah, look around you. Look at your successes. You might be, if this is career related, you might be building some sort of team up or collaborations with many people or trying to get people on board with your idea. You might be doing more marketing or sort of creative aspects to whatever it is you work in. You seem to be finding your people. I'm almost getting this idea of you sort of drawing them in like a magnet, like the divine is stepping in to help align people who are going to be strong collaborators in your path as you move forward. Stick to your word. If you told somebody you're going to do something, make sure you have good follow through or else you're going to burn bridges. And that might be a mistake that you've, or I don't say a mistake, but a lesson that you've had to learn in the past of, making a snap decision and then being like, oh shoot, what have I got myself into? And that's sort of what I mean. Like be very careful with your words. And it's not about fear or making you anxious. It's a matter of truth. You're working with so many people that, more or less what they have to go off of is your word. Because right now, again, there isn't necessarily physical evidence of what you've been building or what's to come. I think it's down the pipeline for sure. There's big reasons to celebrate. But yeah, I would just say be open and honest in your discussions and your communications. Because if there is stuff going on behind the scenes, you have so many people in your network surrounding you, like someone's going to find out, right? So I'm not sure why that's coming through, but I guess it's just kind of reiterating what we said. Like really stick to your word. Be good about that. Be honest, be truthful. Yeah, absolutely. Magician energy is Mercury, our thoughts, our ideas, our communication. And also I would say too, the idea of be good to yourself, be good to your body, be good to your mental health, right? Make sure you're not spinning out of nervousness or fear or feeling overwhelmed again because maybe like we shot for the moon and we weren't quite there yet. Be really cognizant of what you're telling yourself, right? You have no reason not to be optimistic, but because I get the idea that there's a lot of people involved here, you can't just act off of what's best for me. Even if you are the head of the company, right? I just see you as having almost like some worker bees around you or people helping bring your vision and your manifestation in life. So be this kind of leader, Sagittarius, right? Be the one who rules with, compassion. So someone who's very charming, very creative, someone who's kind of chill and calm and is good with their money. They're good with their resources because they respect themselves, right? And with that, they respect those around them. So you may end up catching word that you sort of have a what is that expression, I'm hearing like a fly in your net, or what is that expression? I think you guys know what I mean. It's like there's a little bug, there's a little annoyance in what is a really nice, beautiful, functioning team or group of people. This seems to be veering off more into the work thing. So I will pull some cards on love too, but maybe this will make sense. Maybe it's a family business, right? You may like a fly in your ointment. I hate that expression. I hate the word ointment. But yeah, I do see like maybe a little bit of trickster energy. So if that's not you, Sagittarius. Yeah, okay, so there is someone in your network who maybe isn't being as forward with the truth or as honest. But here's the thing, look, like this, the Empress, if this is you, you're looking directly at them. Like they're not getting away with anything. Like you, I think your intuition, or however you want to say, your gut impulse immediately has some reservations about this person. And maybe there's a sense of loyalty. Maybe there's a friend or there's a family member or, you know, a former coworker that you're like, all right, you know, you want to help, you know, you're going through a tough time. I'll bring you on. But I don't know. And again, these aren't fear-based readings, but I quickly feel like you start to get the pulse on this person. You're like, oh, fuck no. Like you're going to shut that down immediately, especially if they're working for you and they're making you look bad or again, going about the process in a way that's really shady. It's like you pick them out of the bunch and pull them out immediately. So I think if anything, this is coming through to confirm your intuition. If you've already been feeling that way about some sort of dynamic in your life, trust your gut. And again, there's always a peaceful way of doing it and negotiating. I'm not saying you have to tear this person down or humiliate them or whatever, but you know, you may pull them aside and be like, listen, do you know what I mean? And up to you how you want to deal with it, right? I'm not going to script out that conversation for you. But yeah, this person is hiding a lot. I mean, guys, literally, these are like my 3 trickster hidden energy cards. That and maybe the 7 of Cups. We'll see if it comes, but like, and again, I have to reiterate, this is not about inciting fear in you. This is something that intuitively you already kind of sense you have like a rat in the pack or a rat in the bunch, however you want to say it. That needs to be taken care of so that this, whatever this is, can continue to run smoothly. I could even see this too, if this is a relationship, you may, and whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter, you may have a very strong feminine energy, particularly a mother or a mother-in-law in your life, who's sort of trying to taint the punch bowl, if you know what I mean. It's like they're bored or they're trying to start some shit. You know, the Libra energy here to me can be a little bit of a drama queen, like talks a lot of smack and a lot of shit, but shows up just like, oh, hi, how are you? Like fake friends, mean girl energy. And I don't necessarily want to slap a gender on it. Because this is like the mother energy, this may have to do with sort of a mother who is struggling to let their child go off into the world and marry their partner, you know, which isn't unheard of, right? We've heard of, you know, the step monster and all that kind of stuff. I sort of get the impression that this person doesn't think anyone is good enough for their daughter or their son. And so they're kind of pulling the strings to make someone question, well, are you sure this person is the one? And, you know, I'm almost getting like, you know, they have these great visions, but I mean, what if it fails? What if it doesn't work? And like almost the complete opposite Sagittarius energy, like completely lacks any faith, any optimism. So of course there's a little bit of like a silent battle going on. It's like someone saying one thing to one person, but then, you know, acting all, I don't know, like, you know, trying to be your friend and sweet talk you. But I almost see this as like subtle manipulation to take someone out of power, but it has to do with more of like a relationship energy. Again, like a mother or a mother-in-law interfering in the romantic couple's relationship and trying to, I don't know why, guys, trying to like stir the pot or start some shit. I don't like that energy. And obviously that's not for all of you, but just word to the wise, right? And I mean, that's one of the things where you don't choose family. So if you're dealing with a mother-in-law who's throwing some shade your way, you know, I would lean into the fact that you can't control this person, and it's really not your business whether they like you or not. You know, it's great to feel like you're liked and people you know, look up to you or whatever, but some battles are just not worth fighting. And so I would say distance yourself or just ignore it. You know, if they're throwing some shady energy, just be the life of the party. Show that it doesn't bother you at all, and really allow yourself to not let it bother you. Don't hold on to this sort of negative, you know, vampire energy, because when you start to take that on, it's like it's working. It's like letting them win. So haters gonna hate. Really, chalk it up to that for sure. And that could even be a jealous friend. If you're starting a business or something, it doesn't even have to be manipulation of, you know, trying to spread some shit or talk shit about you. Pardon my French, guys, but it could even be that person just instilling fear in you. Like, well, I don't know, that seems like a really big gamble. And like, I wouldn't do it if I were you. And like, you know, kind of, what is it, like dulling your light or dimming your light or trying to influence you in a way where it's like, well, who does that serve? By me not going in on this big, project or adventure or applying for my dream job, by you kind of, telling me all the reasons why I shouldn't, who is that helping? Like, so what are we going to do? We're just going to not take chances in life. We're just going to stay put and keep everything status quo. When, I don't know, there's opportunity and abundance right here, but I don't know, this Two of Wands could also be the difficult decision to part ways with someone. But here's the thing, a lot of you are already sensing that there's something odd going on in this relationship. And again, it could be with a parent who just doesn't endorse you or doesn't support you. Doesn't mean you have to cut them off for life, but again, distancing yourself. And I would say, look at this beautiful energy. This is like picture perfect, surrounding yourself with people who raise your vibe, who believe in you, who say nice things about you, who are authentic, who show up to the relationship as themselves. It doesn't mean that everyone is going to think, the sun shines out of your butt, right? That's not life. That's not reality. You're just as capable as making errors and mistakes as everyone else, but these are people who aren't going to hold that against you or constantly remind you of the times you failed. These are people who are like, you know what? When you fall, you get up again, you get back on the horse, you try again. That type of, some of my favorite terms in tarot, like motivation, empowerment, inspire, those are your people, Sagittarius. So you may realize you have an energy vampire in your life who's just, they're draining you. Energetically, they're draining you, and it builds them up to feel important, like they're giving you guidance. But one of my favorite expressions, and I find myself reminding myself of this all the time. I'm a person who loves to get opinions and ideas from other people, right? My Mercury's in Gemini, so I'm very like, I can see both sides of the coins. I can see things both ways. And so I find myself in this position too. That expression, like, don't ask, I'm trying to not botch the phrase. It's like, don't ask a travel itinerary from a person who's literally never left their hometown, right? If you're going to Europe, don't ask travel plans from the person who literally has no experience or no authority on that type of thing, right? For some of you, that's just a really important thing that comes through, is like, you may have leaned into this person's, I would say, cautious, right? Fixed energy. Like, let's be conservative. Let's not go all in. Let's, stick to the tried and true method of what's always worked and yada, yada, yada. Again, completely valid for that person, right? That may or may not apply to you. And again, you have to trust your gut instincts. I'm not saying, gamble it all, risk it all. I'm saying, listen to what your heart is telling you. And if you feel like you're getting sound advice and guidance from people who understand the process or the project or the relationship, then yeah, by all means, talk about it. Don't be pig-headed, right? Don't be like, my way or the highway and I'm going to do it anyway. Because again, you're going to encounter obstacles no matter what in life. But this is about kind of your ability to overcome, to what is that word, to not just, well, I guess endurance, tenacity, that's the word I'm looking for, to keep going when the going gets tough. But the thing is, like, there seems to be like this magical energy around this group of people, almost like rock star energy. Like, you're going on tour and there's more fans at every show and the vibe of the show is so great. It's like cloud nine energy here, not so much here. So again, it's like you're facing this person, so don't turn your back on the people who are supporting you and giving you that kind of fuel to keep your fire burning. I guess I would question, like, what is going on here with that person, and do you have space and room and energy for them in your life anymore? It doesn't have to be a cold hard cut. It just could be distancing. And for some of you, that could be in a relationship. It's possible that you're with a partner who doesn't support your dreams and desires. And again, is it coming from a good place? Is it coming from they love you and want to protect you? But ultimately, is that manifesting as sort of manipulation and control tactics? Be very cognizant of that. Or is it more selfish reasons? Like, well, I don't want to leave my friends and I don't want to leave my hometown. Or do you understand what I mean, Sag? There's some sacrifice you may have to make to keep this person in your life, and it's up to you how much you want to do that. In fact, let's pull an angel card on that. For Sagittarius. This may also have to do with a boss who doesn't see your vision. This could be, boss or supervisor or someone you report to. And yeah, it's like you're incurring wild success in the workplace, but it's almost like there's a jealousy there. Like, well, I'm above you, so you don't deserve this happiness or whatever. I don't like that vibe. Love yourself, and then expression. All right, so let's read those real quick, and then we'll move on to something else. All right, expression. This card guides you to speak your mind. After all, that's one of the reasons indigos, this is called the Indigo Angel deck, by the way, so they refer to that term indigo quite a bit. After all, that's one of the reasons indigos such as you came to Earth. For so long, people have not spoken up for themselves. As a result, humanity has lived under the tyrannical control of those with power. Now is the time for change, and you are one of the spiritual warriors in charge of initiating that shift. I love that. I love that for these cards. Always speak your mind, but also be aware of how others react to your declaration. Ding, ding, ding. Ask the angels to guide you to communicate in ways that allow you to be heard. If you can express yourself in a manner that people can relate to, your concerns and opinions will be much better received. All right, that's perfect, because we were saying, try not to be too curt. Watch how you address people. Catch more bees with honey, right? And that can be hard sometimes. I know. From a fire signs especially. Water signs have the opposite problem. Water signs like, excuse me, if you don't mind, would you maybe consider, they don't want to rock the boat. Anyway, so somewhere in between, right? Balance. And then the love yourself card. This might be about your person too. I'm just putting that out there. This card reminds you of how beautiful your indigo mission, life, and soul are. You deserve happiness, and the most powerful way to bring it into your life is to be a source of it. Love yourself, even if that doesn't seem natural, and you'll be a conduit for higher energy. Take time today to focus on at least one thing you appreciate about yourself. Your relationship with you is the most intimate one you'll have in this lifetime. The more you love yourself, the more you can focus your energy spiritually on the greater good. Okay, let's try another message. I suppose that could relate in multiple areas, especially if you're mixing sort of your, relationship dynamics with streams of income, with avenues of income. If you work with your friends or your family, etc. Actually, let's do this deck for you. All right, so let's talk about love and relationships specifically. Is there something I need to share with my Sagittarius gang out there regarding love and relationships? We'll give it one more shuffle, Sag. Oops, those want to come out. Let's see. What do we got? Oh my God. That's beautiful. I actually thought it was the 10 of Cups, but it's the 7 of Cups. All right, cool. So assessment. And then let's see. Oh my goodness. The 9 of Swords. Come on now. And then the 2 of Coins. Emotional decisions, emotional reactions. I see this as emotional reactions that you may quickly regret or feel anxious after expressing. Some sort of emotional uncertainty. I feel some of you are just being honest and trying to operate with your best integrity of telling someone I don't know how I feel, but then feeling like just expressing that put you at an awkward dynamic with them, especially a Scorpio or maybe a Gemini, because now I think you're fearful that this person looks at you as like a player, when I don't think that's necessary, and I mean that for my females, right? There's no gender attached to this. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think you're just not certain what you're able to invest your time in right now. It's possible you may have options. Some of you certainly might say that to someone. And again, that would just indicate, no harm, no foul. Like you guys just simply aren't on the same page. For some of you, you're not looking for an absolute commitment or putting a title on it right now. You kind of want to remain, open to what comes down the pipeline in the future, but not necessarily needing to figure it all out right now. And yeah, especially with a Scorpio or a Gemini, you seem to be with someone who like, I need answers, and you just don't have them. And so vice versa, if it's you, Sagittarius, who's like, I need answers, I can't be on the fence this whole time, I think this person likes you, but I think forcing them into a corner to give you an answer, you're either not going to get the answer you want, or for some of you, this person is going to tell you what you want to hear, even if it's not true, because they feel like their defenses are up. And when they're forced into a corner, some people may react of, okay, well, I'm out then. I don't want this. Others of you, they're going to be like they're going to panic and fold under pressure and tell you something. But the thing is, it's not necessarily authentically true. So why would you want that? Either way, the strategy of forcing someone by hand to give you an answer to commit to you, nope. Let me just like across the board, nope. I don't care how long you've been together or how long you haven't been together. If some person's all in and demanding things, that's just, in theory, ideally that should come organically, right? There shouldn't be this, well, what are we? And, I don't know. I just don't like that. Yeah, again, Seven of Swords, someone is... I hate to use the word coward because I actually kind of get it. Like, emotions are coming into this, but not in the, like, this is not the most healthy emotions. It's like this idea or this ideal of what could be. But you have to remember the Seven of Cups talks about illusion, sometimes deceit, right? Any seven, there's assessment. So when I talk about love and I use the word emotional assessment, followed by the Nine of Swords, which is about like anxiety and dread and fear and, not being able to get out of bed in the morning. This is not the most sexy, relationship spread I've ever seen. Someone hiding their feelings or emotions or not being able to confront the truth. And I will say there might be a revelatory, I hope I'm saying that right. It might be revealed that someone is still kind of keeping someone in their back pocket. It's not necessarily saying cheating, infidelity, though it could with the Seven of Swords. It might just be that this person is keeping their options open because they're hoping that other person comes back. But if they don't, they're willing to entertain other options, which again, kind of disrespectful if you're dealing with someone who's all in on you and you've decided, or vice versa, if that's someone you're dealing with. I'm just going to say kind of across the board, don't love this spread. So if any of that sounds familiar, I don't love it. In fact, let's throw a moon card on this. Is there something that the intuition is already telling us that we can say here for Sagittarius? What are you afraid of? What is this person afraid of? Is it commitment? Is this person afraid of you? It's time to take action. New moon in Aries. Yeah, so sometimes during the new moon, a lot of times it's like, it's time to plant the seeds of manifestation. Yes, but I almost don't think that's... It's almost like rushing the process. I feel like during the new moon, it's dark out. So we really don't have any clue what the heck we're doing, right? So it's almost like you kind of have to sit in that darker energy and almost like, it sounds cheesy, but like communicate with that internally. Like, what am I feeling and what's really going on here? And like, eventually something here is going to come to light, a culmination or a completion. So if what's happening underground or under the covers or, under, how do I want to say it? Internally, let's say it that way. It's something you're feeling, but you can't really prove or see. Whatever that initial sort of seed or that initial feeling, or again, that just gut impulse where you can't see it or prove it, but there's something there. I think you should kind of follow your hunch. And I mean, I'm not saying you have to take action immediately, right? This says it's time to take action. But here's the thing. I wouldn't be accusatory per se, but I would trust that your body is kind of tapping into the energy of what's going on. And so the clues you're receiving are probably leading you to discover something greater. Aries is a very action-oriented, independent, trailblazing, risk-taking, youthful energy. So if you're dealing with someone who isn't displaying that, I don't know. I see you guys butting heads, right? The ram. I see there being arguments and confrontation. And again, someone twisting your arm to get you to sort of, perform like the dancing monkey, to get out of you what they want, but that doesn't seem healthy. It doesn't seem like anybody's enjoying this. It seems like an equal struggle here. So, no offense, Sag, but I don't like that one. Let's try and pull another one. Because, I mean, obviously not every Sagittarius out there is going through that, but that one felt like it needed to come out. It's like... I sort of feel like the writing is on the wall, and I think by the time, let's see, we do have a new moon in Aries actually happening on April 1st, so that's actually very timely. Something may come to the surface during the new moon about that kind of energy, but also the full moon is going to be, let's see, there will be a full moon in Libra, so again, possibly the culmination of some sort of relationship. And that even may have to do with your first reading with this like Empress over here, because there is Libra energy attached to that. So interesting. All right. Yes. Let's do one more and then we're going to call it a day. I'm doing okay for time. Temperance. Something about twins. Do any of you out there have a twin or a sibling who's very close in age? Something about a Leo is coming through too. Not knowing where the Leo stands, maybe? Is there confusion with the Leo? Is there a heart-to-heart that needs to be had with the Leo? I don't know. Someone here might be thinking someone's two-faced. Yeah, again with the not so great energy here. 7 of Cups, that's as we were talking about earlier, like the illusion and deceit cards. You have it again here. 7 of Cups. Other times it is a Scorpio card. I believe it's Venus in Scorpio. The idea of just having options and decisions and choices to make, but not necessarily feeling secure or certain of what path to take. This might be saying, again, similar, not rushing into a decision if you don't feel like you have a good pulse on what's going on, because you may end up risking financial assets that you would later come to regret. Forewarned is forearmed. Not about doing those fear-based readings. Again, please don't misconstrue that or misunderstand it. But again, I'm hoping that when I share these, some of you guys are like, oh yeah, okay, I think I know what that is. That's a good sign. Typically that means you're connecting with the material, and not all of you will. But to me, it's like it's like you can see two sides of the coin here. Like you have different options or decisions, but you don't really feel emotionally pulled or drawn to one more than the other. This might be about being creative with your decision. Maybe it's about mixing and matching or blending, or rather than going all in on one, maybe you're seeking financial or like loans. So, rather than incurring, crazy fees, what do you call them? I can't think of the word. Interest, right? By taking, that sketch loan that has crazy interest rates, is there something else you can consider? I would just say, because something about making some sort of decision when you're not well informed or just not feeling like it's right, again, feeling pushed into a corner, like we'll just make a decision. I think there will be consequences there that will either impact your money in a not so great way. I'm just going to be honest. 5 of Coins is like, not great. Or it's going to impact how you view yourself. It's going to take a toll on your self-worth, how much you value yourself, because I almost feel like you may feel like your reputation gets hurt for making a decision that doesn't work out. And again, it may have to do with, like, if you're the boss and you're on top of the food chain and all the people are getting fed because of you, if you make a wrong decision, that impacts a lot of people, right? So Spider-Man, right? Great responsibility, great power. Those things are hand in hand. So sometimes the best decision is to hold off and wait until you're better informed. Sometimes in life we don't have this luxury, but with the cards coming up here, Temperance is about balance and patience and healing and not rushing into things. There's something here where it's like, oh, well, I could see both sides. Like, I'm not sure. And like, I would wait. I would see what other options you have to not make this decision right now. Not by avoidance. Don't get me wrong. It's not to avoid it entirely. It's to wait. Again, like new moon, you're in the dark. It's to wait until there's a little bit more light in the sky. A little bit more light shown on this major decision or project or whatever it is, so that you can make a decision confidently and knowing that you made the right choice with the information you have at the time, right? It's not about looking back, shoulda, coulda, wouldas, but yeah, here I just see there being like I'm not ready to make that choice. So that's where we're at. What are my options? I think you kind of need to stick to your guns here, because why risk the money if you're not certain on something? And some of you might just be kind of being told to be cautious with your money, especially if you're doing something new and you're still a bit of like a student in this area, or, wet behind the ears, naive, however you want to say it. Then maybe you should do a little bit more information gathering, a little bit more research, a little bit more learning. So again, making well-informed decisions, really important. Where are the swords? Where's the information? This might be an emotional decision you have to make on if the emotions are there. And even to that, I would say you're not sure. Some of these cups are tipped over. Some of them, like, there's nothing in them. So I would not place your bets on those ones, right? The Sun. Oh, this is like the cutest card ever. I just love this card. Oh my goodness. It just makes me smile. Don't let fame and glory go to your head. Don't get dazzled by the idea of money that's not there yet. Again, this isn't supposed to be like, limiting beliefs or self-doubt. It's not about that. It's that you may get like, starry-eyed about this idea, but then as you dig deeper, you're going to be like, oh, well, maybe, that didn't go how I expected. But again, you may feel pushed into a corner like, well, I'm already in this deep, so I can't just stop. How would that make me look? What about my reputation? People know me as a risk taker, or, the life of the party, or, whatever this is, the wise business executive. But the further you push this without kind of reason or factual information, again, you end up getting yourself into kind of like a hole financially, or something that again tarnishes your reputation or value, or just takes a toll on your body. You might be a kick-ass, entrepreneur or whatever this is, but are you healing? Are you taking care of yourself? This can be a healer card or a medicine card. And, is your body suffering because you're burning the candle at both ends? There is a need to take this slower than you want to. The sun is a very positive card. It's very lighthearted, easy, kind of liberated, youthful, freedom, creative, all those kind of like fun words. But at what point are we overdoing that area where we need to kind of, again, earth energy and sword energy, ground ourselves and maybe think things through a little bit more? All right, Sag. That's what I got for you for the month of April. Do I want to throw anything else at you? I don't know if that has to do with romance, quite frankly. Again, maybe kind of feeling out where a Leo stands with you. I do see that maybe coming through. Let me throw some romance angels at you and we'll wrap it. I just feel like I didn't get a lot in love this time around, but maybe that's not your priority right now. I don't know. Although for Sag rising, I believe this is correct. We're in Aries season, so that would be your 5th house of dating and, sex for pleasure, not necessarily for procreation, but hobbies, activities, games, gambling, leisure. So with the gambling, I would take it easy. All right, very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Such a good Sagittarius card. And passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. All right, guys, I'm wrapping it up there. Please remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel if you have not already. If you want to book a personal reading, that is a fabulous way to support me and my channel. There's information on how to do that in the description box below. Other than that, I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye, guys.